Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Strategic Risk Solutions podcast series. My name is Sandra Sainonge, and I am the marketing manager for Strategic Risk Solutions. We are a firm of over 300 people located around the world, and we are the world's leading independent insurance company manager. Today, we'd like to speak with Britni Strong, a director out of our Cayman Islands office. Britni, thank you for joining us. We're excited you could come on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
All right, let's just jump right into it. Britni, can you give us a brief history of what you do at SRS, a little about you and your role within the firm?
Sure. I'm a director of client services here in the Cayman SRS office. We are a captive manager. We're the largest captive manager in the Cayman Islands by volume of clients. And we manage the day-to-day operations for a whole host of captive insurance companies that are domiciled in the Cayman Islands.
Let me ask you this. SRS around the world, Europe, all of our islands, Cayman, Barbados, Bermuda, in the United States, within several states, in Canada, in Latin America. Can you give us a little bit of history as to how SRS became the largest manager in Cayman, and then why you think people choose to domicile there?
That's a good question. I think that SRS does have unique attributes that it can offer to clients that not every insurance manager can offer. One of the main items I do like to highlight is that SRS is the largest independent captive manager in the world. And that does help us gain foothold in the market, particularly because your larger firms, for instance, Marsh or Aon, they're also going to have brokerage arms and actuarial firms. And actually, most of their revenue is going to be coming from their brokerage arm, whereas captive management is what we do. And that's what we strive to do very well. That is also where we put our resources. If a larger firm has resources to invest back into its operations, it might go for a different arm of the business, whereas our resources go into our captive management team. And that is why I think we've been able to really provide consistent quality service to our clients and maintain clients with long histories at our firm.
Awesome. Yeah, SRS definitely has built a reputation since 1993 when it first came to fruition with Brady Young, who is still to this day a very active and involved CEO, which is amazing. So that gives us a lot of insight in terms of the independence and why SRS is different than, say, maybe some other captive management firms out in the market right now and in the industry right now. Once somebody does choose SRS as their captive manager, what makes the Cayman Islands such an attractive domicile?
Sure. Cayman really does have a long history of captive management. They started with the healthcare captives back in the 60s and have been growing ever since. They are one of the largest domiciles by volume, competing with Vermont and Bermuda for the largest domicile for captives in the world. And they also have a wealth of professional expertise located on island. Cayman has a large volume of international capital available for clients across the spectrum that our domicile caters to. And I do think that whether it's going to be your auditor, your captive manager, your tax advisor, your actuary, we do have every service you need available in the Cayman Islands, as well as a very robust and manageable regulatory regime that is recognized internationally for its stringent yet friendly regulation for captive insurance entities.
And I know that the SRS office in Cayman is fully staffed in terms of the services that it provides. And I do know that within the industry and in the marketplace, having the people on island, having Cayman people from Cayman, people who live in Cayman, work on Cayman clients, I know that that's something that's important. And I'm super excited that SRS takes that into consideration and does establish amazing offices around the world. When you talk to new clients or, clients that we've taken over from maybe another captive management company for whatever reason, but when you talk to clients who are just joining SRS, how do you help them make the domicile decision? Are there certain factors that you think come into play or things that you can help to guide somebody in terms of deciding Cayman may be the best choice?
That's a great question. Often we will look to the expertise of our SRS advisors group to help with feasibilities and domicile decisions amongst our clients. They will help them guide through the decision making, which will often revolve around tax issues and also preference for programs. That's something that we do encourage our clients that if they have any questions or if they are looking at additional domiciles for their products, to speak to the SRS advisory group who can help them make that decision.
That's great. And I will say the advisors group within the United States is led by Michael O'Malley, and his team of experts are phenomenal in really exploring the domicile options that are available to people on a number of different criteria. So for those of you out there listening, feel free to reach out to the advisory group. You can find them on our website. We also have an advisory group in Europe based in our Ireland office, and that's run by Derek Bridgman. And I know that in Derek's office, they do a lot of advisory studies in European countries, but also in the islands as well. So people can go to the website to find out more information about that. So that's a great call out, Britni, on recommending the advisory group. On a note similar to that, what have your experiences been thus far in the clients that choose to work with SRS Cayman specifically? Are there details that you can share with us on certain clients who have really had sort of an exceptional experience?
I would say that the expertise within the SRS Cayman office is quite unique in that our managing directors in our office have almost 70 years experience in the captive industry, and our 5 directors in the office have almost 60 years experience collectively in the industry. So we have a deep bench and a wide breadth of knowledge that we can use to help our clients tailor what they are looking for in their program. Frequently, you hear the saying, you've seen one captive, you've seen one captive. And that's because captives really are a tailor-made product for the parent organization. And I do find that SRS even pushes that boundary of bespoke further to really tailor to what the client is looking to achieve and to help them grow their business.
Yeah, and that's great because the Cayman Islands do have a lot to offer in terms of the clients and becoming part of SRS, the SRS Cayman family. Can we talk a little bit about existing captive owners, maybe that are not part of SRS at this point? Is there a certain methodology or magic, if you will, to helping one type of captive owner transfer to a different captive manager? So going from one of our competitors and coming over, bringing their captives to SRS for us to then manage going forward.
If anybody's looking to do a request for proposal, we do ask that they reach out to us. We're happy to help them with the resolutions if they're looking to make the change. We provide them with all of the information in order to make the appropriate decision for them. Cayman is very specialized in the healthcare captive sphere. We started healthcare captives in the 60s, and it still remains over 50% of the captives domiciled in the Cayman Islands. However, we are seeing a large surge in interest in the reinsurance market, particularly because there are folks that are looking to enter into our domicile that are currently domiciled in other domiciles. And that might be an interest to some folks. How do we transition from one domicile to another? We're happy to help any of our clients that are looking to come to Cayman or to transition from another manager into SRS, make that transition smoothly. We can have calls and walk through on a weekly basis the progress of making that transition and making it as easy as possible for them.
That's great. Britni, this has been super informative and helpful in terms of describing SRS, specifically SRS Cayman, our office, and the services that we provide to our current clients. We so appreciate you joining us on the podcast. Do you have any events coming up or anywhere that somebody could potentially meet with you, or if they wanted to kind of touch base, learn more about Cayman Islands? Is there a chance that you're going to be anywhere lately?
So I do always recommend that any clients that are interested in the Cayman Islands captive industry to attend the Cayman Captive Forum, which is the week after Thanksgiving every year. It is the largest captive insurance conference in the world and is a great opportunity to not only get CPE, network, but also meet with other folks that are in similar situations with similar captives, perhaps facing similar problems. And it's a great place to workshop those problems amongst your peers. So I do always recommend that people look into going to the conference, which this year is December 3rd to December 5th. It is the week after Thanksgiving every year.
Great. Definitely. I know that Cayman Captive Forum is a big conference that a lot of people attend. And to your point earlier about you've seen one captive, you've seen one captive. It really is nice when clients of SRS can kind of get together, and other captive owners too can get together and really discuss how a captive has helped them address different business challenges or business goals, and they've used a captive to get to that goal. So I think that's a great idea. So, Britni, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast today. Folks, if you should have any questions regarding strategic risk solutions, SRS Cayman specifically, or just captive industry in general, SRS is always here, and we're happy to talk with you on any questions you might have. Feel free to reach us at www.strategicrisks.com. Britni, thank you very much, and we will see you in Cayman.